Dr. Gwenno Jones is a senior case manager with Children Not Numbers. It's an organisation that provides aid and support to children in Gaza, and she's joining us from Bangor in Wales. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. We have seen so many pictures of children who have sustained terrible injuries in this war. But I want to ask you specifically about the psychological impact on children, particularly those children who have lost one or both of their parents. How does that affect a child? How does it manifest itself in children that come into orphanages like this?
So we see this on a regular basis. Of course, we have a school that operates in southern Gaza with 380 children, and they are profoundly impacted by everything that is happening there at the moment. Not least, of course, losing one or both of their parents, but also something that we're seeing on a very regular basis is that these children are extremely weak and are passing out at the moment at school, and that's something that has been happening, because of the famine and the heat that's there at the moment. It's having a massive impact, but psychologically, our children have very little of what a child should have in terms of the security of their parents and the security of a home in most of the cases. So
given the circumstances that the children are under, what help, what support can you give them?
We have the school, as I say, so Marwa and the team in the school do a fantastic job working through their own grief, their own trauma, their own starvation, to bring that little sliver of normality to the children. And I believe our school have worked very, very hard. The whole team there have worked hard to provide a safe space or somewhere where the children can feel comfortable, can learn, and can do something that is what is usual for a child. They've worked very, very hard to achieve that. And our children do say that they find going to school to be one of the few things that they can enjoy now. So we offer them that. We also do have a dedicated orphan support programme with Children Not Numbers, who also work very hard to provide shelter, provide food, and provide psychological support for our children who have lost parents, as well as the ongoing medical care that we do our best to coordinate for them as well.
We're just looking at, as you're talking to us, with some of the pictures of the children, of some of the children, at least, that your organisation has been helping, and it strikes me that one of the things that dies most quickly in war is, of course, hope. And yet we're seeing very positive pictures from your organisation. How do you manage to re-establish a sense of hope in a child who has lost so much?
Well, that's one of the biggest difficulties, I think, particularly with the difficulties that we're finding with the blockade at the moment, the difficulty in getting medication, even basics like food and clean water to children. It does seem very, very difficult to provide them with that hope. I think the school in particular is one thing that we've been able to do in spite of those difficulties that has brought some level of hope. But also, I think day to day, our work as caseworkers, so we have a team of caseworkers both internationally and within Gaza who are in contact with our families day after day to provide them with solidarity and support, as well as a listening ear, providing food when we can, medicines when we can, and just being involved in their lives, showing an interest, being interested in seeing little things like a child's first steps, for example, in some of our younger children, knowing that they're showing us drawings that they've made at the school. Those things are very small things that we can offer in these times to actually provide that little bit of hope. And also in the work that we do to arrange some of the evacuations that we are arranging, that brings some level of hope to families, to parents, and to the children themselves, that they may well improve their quality of life if that does indeed happen for them.
I want to ask you, forgive me for interrupting, I apologise, but I wanted to ask you about something that you mentioned earlier on. You were talking about the involvement, obviously, of your staff in the families and the care of the children and so on. One must imagine that, particularly for those who are in Gaza themselves, this must have a significant effect on the staff as well, particularly when they are seeing the brutality of any conflict, being surrounded, children being caught up in that brutality.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something that is truly amazing in all of this, is how the staff there continue day after day when they are, in fact, starving themselves. They are, struggling. They don't have food and access to clean water. They are themselves living in tents in absolutely, devastating heat. They have their own illnesses. They have lost members of their families, and then yet again, day after day, they are there doing everything, doing our best for all of the children, whether it's providing them with glasses or, arranging appointments for them. It can be any number of things, but absolutely, in my book, they are true heroes because they do turn up day after day after day, despite everything that they are going through themselves. Yes.
Dr. Gwenno Jones, thank you very much indeed for taking the time to talk to us. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.